Ex-Rams Sony Michel is now current Rams Sony Michel. He's signing a one-year deal with the LA Rams. And what does that mean? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Before we get into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and let's dive in. So when you look at Sony Michel and what he brings to the table, obviously he's a bit of a power running back, not really a great, speed guy. He doesn't have the long speed and will get chased down from behind. He had some serious success when he took over as the de facto starting running back when Darrell Henderson got hurt in 2021 at age 26, had 845 yards on 208 carries, and had 4 touchdowns. And he had a 4.1 yards per carry average. And really during that time, as the Rams were trying to figure out why the hell they couldn't win a game in November, he's the one that kind of came to the forefront. With good offensive line help, he was able to lead the Rams. A lot of people give him a ton of credit for leading the Rams to the postseason and into the Super Bowl. Now, I want to say something here. I like Sony Michel, but I do think that he's been a tad overrated by not only the Rams fan base, but just in general. And that's normally what's going to happen when you have a first-round running back coming out of Georgia who was drafted by the New England Patriots, especially when Tom Brady was still on the team. Now, what is my takeaway with this move? Well, I think for starters, you have to go back and you have to look at what the Jets did, right? You have to go back. You have to look at what the Jets did because, of course, Mike LaFleur is the offensive coordinator, and you have to kind of figure out, all right, are they trying to replicate anything here? Is this something that, we can, kind of look at last year and pick from? And I think it is to a degree. Sony Michel is kind of similar to Bam Zonovan Knight, the last year rookie running back for the New York Jets. I think he gives them that power, that guy that can run downhill. And so is that currently on the roster? I mean, you be the judge. I think Cam Akers can run with power, but I think he's more physical than just a straight power runner, whereas Sony Michel definitely runs with power. I personally don't think he comes close to taking any sort of snaps away from Cam Akers. I think he is by far the starting running back. I think this is a role that seemingly wasn't filled, and the Rams felt they needed a change of pace power back, a guy in the short area, yardage and things like that. And so I think that's where Sony Michel steps in. Do I think it takes away maybe a little bit from a Kyren Williams or definitely from a Zach Evans, a 6th-round pick? Yes. Do I think now potentially, we're looking at a guy like Ronnie Rivers who showed some promise last year, probably not going to make the team this year? Also, yes. I think this is a veteran presence here at almost age 29 who is coming off the worst season by far of his career, in which he only had 36 attempts last year with the Chargers. Just wasn't a great fit. They never really utilized him, and he had a 2.9 yard per carry average. He just didn't look that great. And I think all of last year, you would constantly hear Rams fans and so forth saying, we should have brought back Sony Michel. And I can't stress enough, I don't think the Rams needed to bring him back last year, and I don't think they need to bring him back this year. I think it's entirely just to add a body in the room. He might not even make the team. Okay, we don't know where almost 29-year-old Sony Michel is at, as opposed to where he was at age 26 with the Rams on their way to the Super Bowl. A lot has changed, keep that in mind. And so this begs the question, is Cam Akers going to lose any sort of reps? And I don't think so. And if they did sign him for that, then they already knew they didn't want to put too much of a workload on Cam Akers. And rightfully so. The guy looked great at the end of last season, one of the best running backs in the league the last 5 games. But you also have to be careful because he does have an injury history. With that being said, so does Sony Michel. So this is one of those moves, we talked about what could happen with the Cooper Kupp restructure. I didn't think a running back was in the cards. And I know the first thing people who don't like Sony Michel and people like Dalvin Cook are going to say is, why didn't they go out and get Dalvin Cook? Well, first off, Dalvin Cook wants to win a Super Bowl. And this is not a team where maybe you might think they can win a Super Bowl, and you're not necessarily wrong. We don't know. But this isn't a team going into 2023, somebody signing. They're going to assume that this team, who's coming off a 5-12 season, got rid of Jalen Ramsey, Bobby Wagner, and so forth, is a team that's about to win the Super Bowl. So A guy like Dalvin Cook is not interested in the Rams. I'm just saying that. That's the first thing. Second thing, he's going to make too much money. So they wanted to add somebody to their room, not get a starter. Okay, I don't think Sony Michel at any point this year will be starting. But if you look at the Breece Hall for the Jets, Cam Akers is Breece Hall on the Rams. That's who he is. Like, that's who they have. He's their go-to running back. But now you add Sony Michel, who kind of fills the Zonovan Knight role, and you have Kyren Williams, who fills the Michael Carter role. And at that point, you know, they had Ty Johnson, James Robinson. We don't know where they go with that. Maybe, you know, Ronnie Rivers does make the team. Zach Evans, of course, is there. So a lot of different things here. But this certainly blows up the idea that they're tanking, doesn't it? Why would you go out and get a veteran running back who had success in a Super Bowl winning season? I mean, I don't think you would, right? 845 yards, 208 carries. This has never been a guy that has been dominant, but he's somebody that can be consistent if he stays healthy. And the 2.9 last year, while it's not great, he didn't really get an opportunity. He only had 36 carries. So who knows? Maybe he ends up splitting the carries with Cam. I would be shocked. I think they want Cam to be the guy. Personally, if they were going to go after anybody that was a former Ram running back, I would have rather gone after Darrell Henderson. And I think the whole point is that they're going after a guy that isn't currently active on the roster. They don't have a power back. They don't have a guy like him. And so that's why this move happened. I'm curious what you guys think, because at the end of the day, I don't think this matters a ton. This will make certain people who really like Sony Michel happy. This is going to get people pretty excited, I would say, some people. And I think others will look at this and be like, it's a move. Okay, I like the Demarcus Robinson move more. I'll say that personally. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. You know, it's only fair, I guess, to let the process play out. But do I expect big things from Sony Michel? Absolutely not. I will say the one issue and the one area of concern I have is that, does this mean that Kyren Williams is going to lose reps that he was going to get before this signing? That concerns me. I think I'd rather have Kyren Williams out there, who's a draft pick, who's somebody that has a future, rather than a guy who's getting closer to that, you know, the deathly age of 30 for that position. But that's just me. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Did you like this move? Do you not like this move? Do you think it's a big deal? Do you not think it's a big deal? Do you like my comparison of him being the Zonovan Knight of this team? I don't know. I mean, I think that's really what he's coming in to be. And he's just going to add another layer to the running back room and get him different looks. But I don't think it's anything more than that. If you do, drop a comment. I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.